I've just come out here to kind of just have a quick chat about how I've got to where I am now, and kind of exactly what we do with game jams. So I started a very, very long time ago, back in 1998, making games. Used to work for Lego before they made the cool games now. We made some dodgy PC and console games. But, you know, it was fun. It's my first introduction to games and the games business, and I was just hooked. So after that, I went to Microsoft for a little bit, and then got a dream job at EA for 5 years. But back then, I was in their kind of mastering department, trying to stop all the bad guys from pirating our games so they can make even more money. And after that, I got my first production job working for Exient. They made pretty much every EA Sports game on the DS and the original PSP for 4 years. Yeah. And then after that, I had a brief stint in Barcelona making some dodgy mobile games for Adidas. Came back to England for a little bit, and as Tom mentioned, went to Frankfurt to work for Crytek in their R&D department, which is amazing. But after that, I went back home, and it felt like time to start my own company. So I started Autogene, which is a micro studio, 3 of us. And we make snackable mobile games. We released Hyperstellar in September last year. Hasn't done amazing, but we're working on Game 2 now. And just from the game jam perspective, like as a producer, I in the early days I didn't really have, or I didn't feel that I had much value at Game Jam, because you need to make a game really quickly, and you need everyone in the skill positions. So you need an artist, you need a coder, maybe a designer, but you could probably get away with that. And so as I kept going to learn a bit more experience in these game jams, I was like, game jams can use producers too. Because when I used to have a proper job, sometimes I would have to stock the fridge, make sure, there's enough milk and sugar for the programmers and the artists to not have to worry about trivial stuff, so they can focus on doing their jobs. But essentially what that is solving problems. And sometimes you just need to think outside of the box. It's really easy when you're an artist or a coder, or you've got a specific job, to get bogged down in what you're doing, and it's hard if you get stuck, to find a solution. So it's always nice to bounce an idea off someone who doesn't necessarily have the same thought process that you do to help solve problems. And then internally at Autogene, we use a kind of extended game jam. So every 4th week of the month, we pick 2 themes and just mash them up together, completely random, and then spend a week trying to make a prototype. It gets to the end of the week, more often than not, we think the game's rubbish and throw it away. But what that helps us do is, when we're working on the main game, it helps keeps us fresh, so we don't get that 1,000-yard stare of making the same game all the time. It's working really well for us. Basically that's why I like coming to game jams. And then, so as Tom mentioned as well, I'm a freelance producer for Square Enix. I recognise a couple of you from Radius in July when I was last here. So I apologise for you guys, but I'll tell everyone else what we're about with Collective. So there's 4 main things that we do. We have our own kind of feedback platform where teams can submit games to us. We'll put them on our website, and we'll ask, I think we're up to about 3 million Square Enix members, if this game was to be on a crowdfunding platform, would you pay for it, yes or no? And then if that's kind of like more positive than negative, and a couple other metrics, we give the teams an opportunity to publish the game with us. It's complete. There's no whole there's no obligations. Teams don't have to, but we've got a good proposition, so teams pick us more often than not. So the first tier is, you come to us with a finished game, and we'll just publish it for you. So we'll take a small percentage. we'll manage all the store, and we'll localise the store pages in the markets that the game's localised for, and just sell it. The second one is you come to us with a finished game, but a slightly bigger game that deserves a big marketing investment. So we'll put in around $100,000 for that to make a bigger splash. And the third one is actually development investment. So you come to us with half a game or the beginning of a game, and obviously a budget for how much you need to finish the game. We'll go up to a maximum of about $300,000 at the moment. So as long as you're below that and the game fits our portfolio and we have a space, it's a good opportunity for us to have a conversation. So any games that you make here in the Game Jam that could sort of propagate into something bigger, don't hesitate to get in touch. I'll be hanging around. But if we don't speak this weekend, you can just email collective@square-enix.com and that'll come through to the team. So speaking of the team, so we've got Phil Elliott, who's our head of indie development. You've got me, who's the producer. You've got Amy, who's our community manager, and you've got Chris, who is our associate producer. It's quite tough with four of us. We see a lot of games, and we're releasing a lot of games this year. A couple that were radius last year, actually. So it's going to be nice to finally close that loop and see how they do it in the market. And yeah, I mean that's kind of all I had. But please, I'm hiding in the corner. I've got a horrible cold. I'm sorry about that. And it probably wasn't a good idea to fly. But don't be afraid to come and poke me, and we can have a chat. So thank you very much.